Okay, for my final video for tonight, or actually this morning, Prince Harry, he's come to the defense of Greta Thunberg. He's been getting a lot of slack, a little bit from me. I'm not too, as you know, I'm probably not in favour of young people getting into these sort of issues at such an early age. It's I don't know. She seems very stressed out, and I think I don't know. I just there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on here with being maybe she's been pushed into this life, or I saw a video. This lady was talking about how her dad was an actor, and his dad was like a famous actor, and she was sort of implying that he was trying to get her to fulfill the things that he never could. So I don't know. It's I just don't like seeing people get that upset about things, especially she's only 16, and I know she's passionate about it, but it's gonna affect her greatly, and I think that's why we shield children from adult issues, because they do get very upset, and it affects them a lot. So I don't like how they're sort of using her as a pawn to try and implement change, when really they should leave it to the policy makers. That seriously, I think they're actually doing a good job. I don't think it can go any faster, or I don't think they're neglecting the issue. It's very stark. It's very in their face. We get told every day basically about climate change. So anyway, let's have a look what Harry had to say. Here we go.
Prince Harry has come to the defence of teenage climate campaigner Greta Thunberg. The Duke of Sussex was getting his hands dirty in Botswana today, helping local school children plant a tree at the Chobe Forest Tree Reserve.
This last week, led by Greta, the world's children are striking. I think there's an emergency that it's a race against time, and one in which we are losing. Everyone knows it. There's no excuse for not knowing that. And I think the most troubling part of it is that I don't believe that there's anybody in this world that can deny science, undeniable science and facts.
So there we go. So that's Harry's take on it. I tend to disagree that, it's a difficult topic, because basically you need the technology. You need the technology to get all this running. We're working on the solar panel technology improving. There's always advances. People aren't just twiddling their thumbs. That's what gets me there. Like people like Greta, and maybe some extent Prince Harry's not appreciating all the work that's been going on in the green industries, of all the R&D, because I'm an electronic engineer originally, and there's a lot of work that goes into this sort of stuff, and just to sort of dismiss it, and just get on everyone's back that we're not doing enough. You know what I mean? It's and a good example was, we had a Prime Minister called Kevin Rudd, who rolled out what was it, insulation. That's right. They rolled out this insulation idea that we'll insulate all the homes and blah blah blah, and it was just done too quickly, and some people actually died because they got electrocuted. They were bringing in people that weren't qualified. And if you start rushing things, I know it is an emergency, but if you start rushing things too much, it can be worse than the actual. The cure can be worse than the cause, sort of thing. So, it's getting there. It's getting there, and as I said before, if you don't think it's going quick enough, you can always do things yourself. That as Harry's doing, plant more trees, do an energy audit on your house. Actually, I should have I've got like a proper Clipsal, like a energy audit thing you plug in. So I've gone through my whole house and worked out which things can stay on standby. If they're only drawing like 0.1 of a watt, I'll leave them on standby. If they're drawing like more than a watt, I'll have them on a switch that I can switch off. And I've also got remote switches and that sort of thing. So I've got my my house, I think, is only using about 50 watts on standby throughout the whole house, so it's pretty low. But yeah, things like that you can always improve in your own. So what's that saying? Think globally, act locally. Like, so everyone can do more and reduce their carbon footprint on a local level and a personal level. And I don't think it's helpful to. I think that's why she got so much backlash, is because she was so. It's almost like telling off the adults. It's like, well, hang on a minute, we are we are doing as much as the technology allows at the moment. You know, everyone's got emission targets, and also you've got to take into account also that who's criticizing like China and India, who are still calling themselves developed economies. This was brought up in news as well. They're still calling themselves developed economies, developing economies. India, I guess, is, but China's not a developing economy. They're like leading the way technically, manufacturing wise, everything. Wealthiest people in the world. I think they've got the highest number of billionaires in the world. That's not a developing economy. And I know India sort of doesn't want to be part of this emissions reduction, because they're saying they're a developing economy. They need coal and all this sort of thing. So, maybe Greta should go over to India and give them some slack. We'll see how she goes there. But yeah, it's a complex issue, and I think she was chosen for the very fact that she is so young, and they actually dressed her up. There's another video. You look up, was it Greta Thunberg and a Lobster, it's called. This lady was articulated very well how they dress her up as a Poppy Longstockings. They're dressing up in like a character that Poppy Longstockings apparently was it Poppy Longstockings? Can't remember what the name was, but one of the heroic characters in Swedish children's books, and sort of modelling around that. So, and if there's one thing that I really dislike is being manipulated, and I think Greta's was sort of brought out to manipulate people. But I'm going to get some slack for this, but what the hell? I can see what's going on. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'll get the slack in the comments. Don't be too mean, otherwise I'll block you. I've got a habit of blocking people that troll my channel too much, and especially if they attack me personally without any sort of basis. So we'll leave it at that, and I hope you have a good day. I'm going to sleep because I'm exhausted. It's like 7:24 in the morning here, and I've been up all night doing stuff. Okay, cheers guys, bye.